Hello everyone, welcome to General Hospital Daily Channel. Please hit the subscribe button and give this episode a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers claim that ADA Justine Turner is facing a difficult decision that has caused her inner struggle. When Justine opened up to Sonny Corinthos in GH's May 19th episode, he offered some sound advice. Justine won't be able to ignore Curtis Ashford's case when it arrives on her desk, but she's struggling with the prospect of prosecuting him when Jordan Ashford is already dealing with so much. Curtis is currently Jordan's support system, thus Justine is hesitant to pursue her upset friend's lover. Of course, Sonny spoke for the audience by pushing Justine to think what she would do if this was a situation involving strangers. After all, Justine's decision to prosecute should not be influenced by whether or not her yoga buddy will be offended. The truth is that Curtis committed a crime and caused significant damage, thus Justine must investigate the facts of the case. Even Justine admitted that based on the report and the condition of Isaiah Gannon's hand, this was an attack involving serious bodily harm. Justine stated that it was her responsibility to prosecute before emphasizing that the matter was not so straightforward because she knew Jordan and Curtis. Nonetheless, Justine complimented Sonny for his counsel and appeared to be leaning toward prosecuting Curtis in the end. There are good grounds to believe Justine will pursue the matter, especially since Jordan is convinced she won't. Jordan's assertion to Curtis that Justine will never file this case against him may be a soapy guarantee that she will be mistaken. How can Jordan ignore Isaiah's fractured hand and damaged tendons in his wrist? Curtis may have just ended Isaiah's surgical career, so keep that in mind. Justine will hopefully do the right thing and make Curtis face the consequences of his actions in court. ADA Turner appears to be preparing to prosecute and advocate for Curtis' punishment, thus a jail sentence could be in his future. Curtis may become concerned that if he is incarcerated, he would miss out on crucial time with his soon-to-be-born child. General Hospital spoilers, Nina's secret Brennan affair, does Jack return home to trick Cullum? According to General Hospital teasers, Nina Reeves and Jack Brennan may become involved in a fictitious romance. Brennan and Nina have some issues that they may only be able to address together, so explore how this might play out. Although Nina did not give Brennan another shot, his life cannot simply return to normal. Ross Cullum essentially confirmed that if Brennan hadn't been locked in, he would have been taken to Steinmauer. Of course, knowing Cullum, he probably would have just killed Brennan instead. In other words, Brennan will be in serious trouble if Cullum learns of his recuperation. However, if Brennan continues to fake his paralysis, he will face another predicament. Cullum is aware that Drew Kane's prescription is to blame for this, therefore he understands Brennan will need to continue receiving these doses on a regular basis. Since Cullum intends to place Brennan in Turning Woods, we might presume he intends to hire staff members to administer the paralytic doses. Nina did not inject Brennan again, but Cullum's employees would not hesitate to put him back in a locked-in state. Brennan's best choice here is to keep his recuperation quiet and avoid going to Turning Woods. Could Nina eventually have the solution? Cullum is already skeptical of Nina because she has been continually visiting Brennan's room. Although Cullum is aware that Drew's medications are the cause of Brennan's misery, he is unaware of Nina's role or how Brennan was dosed. Nina is trying to appear compassionate, but she may eventually reveal some unexpected information. What happens if Nina claims to be Brennan's secret lover? After all, Ava Jerome pressed Nina on how close she had become to Brennan. Nina had a difficult time answering inquiries about what Brennan was doing in her home that night. A love affair would be the ideal cover story, and it would coincide with Brennan's separation from Carly Spencer. Nina might pretend they were keeping their romance a secret, but now that Carly and Brennan had split up, there's no need. Naturally, Nina would insist on taking Brennan home with her rather than leaving him alone at Turning Woods. Brennan could blink any necessary responses as part of the ruse. Brennan and Nina could form a connection similar to Carly and Valentine Cassadine's. Brennan would be free to move around Nina's house and could simply appear to be trapped inside whenever someone came by. Nina could tell Cullum exactly what Willow Kane is doing to Drew. Perhaps Nina could pretend she'll do everything for her kid and continue giving Brennan his doses, even if it means her lover would suffer. In reality, Nina and Brennan may plot against Cullum and Jen Sidwell behind closed doors. Brennan and Nina's fictitious romance could turn into a real one, depending on what the GH writers have in mind. According to General Hospital spoilers, Brennan and Nina will almost certainly continue in each other's orbit, so stay tuned. GH spoilers, Kelly Thibault teases Britt's next chapter. Is she ready to move on from Jason? General Hospital spoilers and updates reveal that Britt Westbourne has recently faced various problems. Along with her efforts to protect Rocco Falconeri, Britt is under intense pressure to complete a dangerous prototype for Ross Cullum and Jen Sidwell's cold fusion project. This has all been quite stressful for Britt. Managing all of this has been extremely stressful for Britt, especially as she navigates her convoluted pharmaceutical issue and frequent disagreements with Cassius Faison or Nathan West on a daily basis. It's natural that Britt has decided to leave Port Charles and confront her Huntington's diagnosis, but unexpected changes are on the way. Britt still has a role to play in this series, and Kelly Thibault just spoke with SOD about what that future may include. After realizing Britt can't catch a break, Thibault voiced a desire for Britt's life to calm down. Britt has been in a continual state of panic for what feels like an eternity, yet there is hope for change. Kelly hopes things may settle down for Britt and become safer. I hope her life can become less stressful, chaotic, and life-threatening, Thibault said. I wish for her to experience a bit of ease and enjoyment and perhaps even find love soon. Britt and Jason Morgan's romance ended abruptly when the WSB transported him to a secret location in Jakarta. Britt is now uncertain whether she will ever rejoin with Jason and rekindle their relationship. While Steve Burton is slated to return to filming in June, there is no certainty that his love story with Britt will continue. Even if Britt and Jason try to restart their romance, it's possible that the GH writers will explore different love options for both characters. There have been speculations that Britt may discover a new love partner in the near future. Although there is no official confirmation yet, the rumor behind the scenes suggests that Britt may develop love for someone other than Jason and pursue a different romantic route. After all, Kelly Thibault has yet to announce whether her next love interest will be Jason. It may be someone else, or perhaps a whole new character. When Thibault said maybe even some love soon to Britt, she could have been referring to a whole different romantic plot. GH spoilers, Steve Burton and Bradford Anderson reveal the hard truth about soap contracts. General Hospital spoilers and updates reveal that the excitement in our favorite soap operas sometimes moves quickly, while at other times the plots seem to drag on indefinitely before reaching a conclusion. However, those incidents have already been settled behind the scenes in the studio. In their most recent podcast episode, Stone Cold and the Jackal, Steve Burton and Bradford Anderson explored how far in advance the General Hospital stars are notified of their schedules. This conversation revealed some intriguing contract-related insights. The two reminisced about the days when actors would receive an actual piece of paper in their inboxes, allowing everyone to see how much work their colleagues were getting. Nowadays, schedules are conveyed by email, so no one knows who is getting more screen time than others. Burton, who is presently on contract, stated, "When you're young, you're like, I want to work more, I want to work more, why is that person working so much?" Bradford talked about being recurring. But what about the experience of those on the other side of the equation? Since I'm not under contract, they need to schedule me for specific days, unlike those who are contracted and essentially belong to the network, Anderson explained. They assume that if it's a filming day, you're available since you're under contract. As a result, recurring characters and anyone else not on contract must make plans for the day. When Spinelli is needed in Port Charles, they provide me with 2 weeks' notice for the day they wish to book me, and I go on hold, Anderson clarified. Bradford expands on being booked for appearances on the show. It's essentially hold dates, like Hold This Date, which grants them the legal right to prioritize General Hospital over any other projects that may arise in the meantime. Then, a week before, they confirm my booking for that date, signaling their willingness to hire me for that day. If they back out, they face a penalty, hence, they try to be very specific about yes, that's the day we want him, we'll book him for that day. It's a separate approach. Burton stated that actors like Anderson get their schedules earlier than those on contract, who sometimes get theirs late on Tuesday or early on Wednesday for the ensuing week. But usually, you get a week's notice or less, he replied. Anderson replied, "One risk of my schedule is that a hold date isn't a guarantee, it's just when they expect you to work." Bradford continued to explain how things work. Bradford explained, "For me, I'm only a plane ticket away, so I normally book a flight within that 14-day window to get a lower rate. However, the date can change a week in advance, which is the risk I accept by living a plane trip away. It's just part of the equation." Changes can occur for persons on contract as well, albeit they are rare. For example, if they're behind schedule, a specific set isn't ready, or an actor becomes unwell, they can reschedule sequences for the following week. But one thing to note is that you won't know when you'll be taping until effectively the night before, Anderson said. Scheduling might be challenging, even if you live nearby. Coordinating with family to plan pickups for school, doctor's appointments, and dentist visits can be unexpected. So planning anything is extremely difficult. That's why I haven't visited the dentist in 25 years, Burton joked. Anderson, like Burton, emphasized that these aren't complaints, but rather that they were providing fans with an inside look at what was going on behind the scenes. For those interested in the procedure, it's important to recognize that it's not always as simple as it appears. Thank you for watching. For daily update, don't forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon.